Dr. Singh, I recently read your article and also saw the video on engagement versus bonding. That's a very interesting concept that in, we are in organizations we are thinking about engagement, and you say that engagement is not enough. It is the bonding which will create the desired result of citizenship behavior in the organizations. I would like to know more about what you actually meant by that.
Thanks, Rajan, for asking this question because this is a very vital question, and this is what I said in my article in my video also. Say no to employee engagement, say yes to employee bonding. What I wanted to say, Rajan, is that when you use the word engagement, it is a negative word, first of all. If you check dictionary, you will find engagement is something which is very closer to conflict. So when we are using the word engagement, what we are saying that employee and the leader is in conflict. So the basic hypothesis is wrong, and bonding is something much more positive. Bonding is something which unifies two people, two souls, two human beings. So in that sense, this is what is desirable rather than engagement.
How do you think it can be implemented in the organizations? Like suggest some actionable points or how to operationalize what you are saying.
Yeah, so that's $1 million question, Rajan, and I would recommend four steps, a process which involves four different initiatives or thought process. The first is that the leader has to become trustworthy. If leader is trustworthy, then employees and his followers will feel as you and I know very well that trust emanates from multiple leadership behavior, and there's a whole gamut of research available which talks about that how leader can create trust. Now this is very easy said than done. In reality, building trust is not so easy. But having said that, there are a couple of things which a leader can very consciously do to build trust. And one of the things is that sharing information. It's not only official information, information about your personal life, your personal well-being, your personal challenges, your trials and tribulations, and thereby you are revealing, disclosing what is important and vital, not only for you but also for your followers. So sharing is something which often we find that leaders are not very comfortable with. They are okay with sharing company information, balance sheet information, but sharing about their warts and moles, they are not very comfortable. So that's number one. The second thing which is relating to sharing is this concept of vulnerability. A great leader always operates from that power and status of vulnerability, where he or she is aware that he or she can be fallible. She or he can have a lot of challenges, difficulties, shortcomings, limitations. And when you operate from that kind of a mindset, you open out. You give signal to your team that you are on a learning curve. You are not somebody who is a master of everything. So vulnerability is again is a concept, is a word which is misunderstood. But in a leadership situation, being vulnerable appropriately is always desirable, and that's something which would build trust and thereby build. Thirdly, accepting others, not trying to change people, but change circumstances whereby people can adapt themselves. So that's the third part. The fourth is being honest, which is being honest in your dealing, in your behavior. That's something which helps in building trust. So that's one domain where leaders can do a lot to build bond with their followers. The second is a concept and philosophy and a process which Simon Sinek, a young speaker, writer who has written a lot of books, he talks about when he says that the leaders are those who eat last, and he gives example of army commanders, where army commanders by design and by default choose to eat last. They allow and encourage their followers and their troop to eat first. We don't see that in corporate world. In corporate world, what we see, the CEOs and vice presidents are keen and interested in their own annual bonus, not the bonus and incentive of their team. And if the leader is interested in his own food and not interested in the food of its followers, obviously there cannot be a bonding. So leaders eat last. And if leader can demonstrate that I am interested in team reward first or my followers reward first, and if he can demonstrate that with sincerity, the bonding happens. The third is our ability to connect with family. We believe that employees who come to our organization, they come with two hands and two legs and one mind. But the employee comes in carrying different hats and different roles. He's a parent, he's a husband, he's a wife, he's a father, he's a mother, he's a brother. How do you take this person in totality? That's number one. Number two, how do you connect his or her family with the organization? So there are quite a few examples. And lastly, but not the least, I'm not suggesting that engagement is per se wrong. What I'm suggesting is that you may follow and drive the Q12 questions and the idea and philosophy around that, but do not do it mechanically. Do it with your heart. Do it with your conviction and drive one process at a time. But not at the cost of building a relationship, not at the cost of building trust, not at the cost of eating last as a leader. That's what my experience, my exposure to corporate world as well as armed forces teach me. And that's what I would say, Ravi.
Very interesting. Very interesting. In fact, two, three things I remember as a part of our earlier talks. For example, you said that why is it that Princess Diana was more popular than
Yes.
Queen Elizabeth?
Yes.
And even in Indian, say, mythology or history or whatever, depending upon which side of the divide you are. But Krishna was more popular than Ram, probably because Ram was Madhara Purushottam and
Yes.
Krishna was a happy-go-lucky kind of a person with his own weaknesses and other things. So I relate very well to what you said. One thing is that even in the family day, I have seen many organizations having family day, but it normally gets restricted to the families coming and seeing where the people work. But the spirit of family day where the seniors meet, it is not only the plant they are interested in knowing, but they are also interested in knowing for whom our family member is working. So that is one space where many things get neglected because very often it is the workmen or junior people come to the factory and the senior people are usually missing because it is supposed to be holiday for them also. That defeats the very purpose of this thing. It's a very interesting concept that you have talked about, and I hope that many people will.
So when I say family day, Rajan, I said that that's a beginning. When you meet at least for a day or two with the family members of your employees. So that's a starter. That's not the end. That's number one. Number two, you see come across in modern organizations situations whereby employees, especially young mothers, are allowed to bring their kids. So organizations are becoming tolerant. But as long as it is not for demonstration purpose, it's not only for showcasing, but if it is genuinely driven from inside, that we allow an employee to come a full human being and the full family, if that belief is there and if that belief is converted into action, it works.
So as I understand, the biggest takeaway from what you have talked about is it's not the rituals. It is the heart
Yes,
involvement
yes,
which is the critical factor
Yes.
and which changes
Yes.
from engagement to
Yes,
bonding.
absolutely.
Thank you, Dr. Singh.
Thank you.